A select group of YouTubers are leveraging a loophole, one that's allowing them to gain an unfair advantage over the competition by dramatically reducing the competition. I'm going to show you how I applied the strategy I'm breaking down today with another channel of mine that's now monetized and has driven tens of thousands of views. And we're gonna leverage the power of TubeBuddy, and a big thank you to the team over at TubeBuddy for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description. Use code BrianG30 to save 30%. And it's the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer that's really powerful and allows me to drive more views. But I don't really think about it as keywords. I don't think about the fact that I'm targeting YouTube search. I really want to focus on measuring two specific things that have allowed me to drive more views. Again, even to a brand new channel. But it's this video here, because I published this video right when I was launching the channel. The channel had no subscribers, or very few, 100, 200 subscribers. And yet the video still did really, really well. It drove over 21,000 views right out of the gate. In fact, check this out. If you look here on my analytics, you can see the graph just totally shoots up, and the video drove around 7,000, 8,000 views in the first 2 weeks of its release. Now let me ask you, how would that make you feel to be able to drive 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 views within days of publishing your video? Fact of the matter is, I'm doing it on this channel, I do it on other channels, and TubeBuddy allows me to make it happen. So I want to break down how I really package my videos and how I think about things so I can get these types of views. And when you look at this particular title and thumbnail, you might think I'm optimizing for search. I'm optimizing for humans. I'm just including the elements that are important to them, and TubeBuddy makes it easy for me to understand what those elements are. So can you guess where those views came from? Well, the number one source was suggested. 38% of the views came from suggested. 35% of the views came from browse. Now, browse is when a viewer is on YouTube and they're browsing, they're surfing around, and when the app opens, the first thing you see is the YouTube homepage, and this is where you get most of the browse views from. And then 10% of my views actually came from YouTube end screens. And do this. When you think about your video, plan it out so you're really covering a set of specific elements or mini topics, right, that viewers are interested in. And as you get to the end of your video, you want to think, I need to create another video on one of these subtopics, right? I mean, it makes sense. And then as you go through and you create these bullet points, you get to the end and you say, now this last part about lighting is super important when it comes to macro photography. And this video on the screen right now covers that thing. Click that video, I'll see you there. And sure enough, by not saying, hey, thanks for watching, because that would alert the viewer that the video's over, I tell them exactly what to do, and I make it simple. I really rarely say subscribe. I always tell viewers what to do next in the form of click and watch this video next. And that's how I got 10% of those views. And then finally, I think it's 6% of the views came from YouTube search. But the Keyword Explorer helps me understand what viewers value, and that's what I want to cover. And here's what's really cool. Right now, you can save 30% on TubeBuddy. Again, use the link in the description, but make sure you watch this video so I can share how to really get the most out of this powerful tool. And TubeBuddy allows me to identify the right kind of topics, understand my audience so much better, and then ultimately publish videos that not only get more views, but make more money. Total win. And you know what? Driving views is absolutely critical to your success on YouTube. You can't get the brand deals, you can't get monetized, you really can't do anything until you start driving substantial views here on YouTube. So do this, click the link in the description, use code BrianG30, you'll save 30% and you'll be hooked up with a great, powerful software suite that can help you grow and succeed on YouTube. Let's talk about video packaging the smart way. First thing I did was I followed my heart and my passion. I was interested in, and still am, I love macro photography and wildlife photography and lenses. And the thing I always do is, step one is begin with your passion, because that's going to come through in the videos you make. You don't want to just be moving forward and selecting videos to create based on RPMs or competition. You want to begin with what you're excited about. And then step number 2 is to open up TubeBuddy and jump to the Keyword Explorer. And here you're going to gain all kinds of information to really help you identify how to move forward and create that video title. And it's more than that, because I use TubeBuddy and keyword research to understand what my audience is interested in. I simply type into the Keyword Explorer macro photography, and then I see all these keyword phrases pop up. Keyword phrases that include words like ideas, beginner, tutorial, flash, lighting, and more. Now I write all these words down, and then I start to format a video script. And the video script might take me 10 minutes to make, it might take me 2 hours, but what's really important is that I include the things the audience on YouTube is interested in, and this is how I figure it out. And there's one other word that's really important, and that is I want to be relatable. I want to create a video that viewers can, well, relate to. Several of these keyword phrases mention words like tips, tutorial, and beginners. That was a big clue. These are beginners that want to know how to take a cool macro photo. So guess what I did? As I created that script, then I started to think about my video title. I do both kind of at the same time. As I'm writing and thinking and jotting down these keyword phrases, I'm getting ideas for my title and for my thumbnail. Let's talk about the thumbnail now. This is important. Thumbnails and titles, and quite frankly, everything on YouTube should be as simple as possible. Really clear. Think of the word clarity. And I thought about those viewers, and I identified that they were beginners, and I figured they wanted to take an awesome macro photo. So I found one of my best, this one, and then I paired it with the thing they want. Pretty much all humans want, which is an easy and fast result. And then I created a title to really reflect the exact audience that I wanted to get in front of. Macro photography is descriptive, but if you want a guaranteed way to boost your views, the more descriptive your title is and the keyword phrases are that you find and identify and incorporate into your video title, well, the more likely you can create a video based on that exact thing. And I found that viewers were searching for insect macro photography. So I created a title that began with that very thing. And then I added in some of those other words that I saw. And sure enough, I got the views I was hoping for. It was amazing. Brand new channel, bam. Oh, I should mention 60 characters. Your video title shouldn't be any longer than 60 characters because you want everybody who sees your video on YouTube, no matter what they're on, to see the entire video title. Keep it short, keep it sweet, and keep it easy to understand and comprehend. There's one other thing we should talk about before we move on, and that's the first 15 seconds of this particular video. Within 15 seconds, I did a whole bunch of things. Number one, I framed myself as I'm not an expert. I'm like you. You should relate to this because I'm just like you. People like you and me, well, we want to take great photos, macro photos, and even though I'm just getting started, check out these videos. Holy smokes. Now here's the deal. I'm no expert, but check out these macro photos. So I opened up with, wow, you should pay attention, right? I said, holy smokes, which is kind of a way of saying, pay attention, this is cool. And then I gave the viewers the exact thing that they want, which is to take cool macro photos. So that's what I did. I showed them macro photos added in a nice bit of editing, and within 15 seconds I was just like them. I was a beginner, I'm not an expert. I showed some great photos, which is the thing they want, and then I used those keywords that I found in TubeBuddy to go through the video and talk about all the things, right? The lighting, the camera, the techniques, and so on. And I learned about all these things that matter to my viewers, and I got the results by using TubeBuddy. Here's another video I want to share with you. This one actually is getting views from search, but we'll see if it continues. I did something kind of strange. Now, when I published this video, again, this was published 9 months ago. I had maybe 500 or 600 subscribers at this point. I wasn't driving many views. And oddly, check this out, it was actually winter time. I wasn't able to be outside with my camera, and yet I sat inside, made this video, and I thought, you know, I know people are interested in tips, tutorials for beginners, and I also know they're interested in lenses. So I talked about the lens that I love the most for macro photography. And I created a video title that really targeted that thing. And my target was to rank for Sony 90mm macro, because I felt like this is probably something that people would search for and try to learn about the best lens to buy and so on. And I want to mention that this is really the way to get established in any niche at all. And you really should have a niche, I believe, if you want to dramatically increase the likelihood that you succeed on YouTube. And furthermore, you want to pay attention to the established players with the most views, subscribers, and so on. And if I look at this particular image here, what you're looking at is a screen capture of me searching for photography basics. David Manning, Simon D'Entremont, this guy is amazing, love his videos. Pat K. So many amazing channels, just like Rocky Mountain School of Photography, and of course Peter McKinnon. These are channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And if I'm trying to target photography skills, which you know what, I just wanted to make that video and I wasn't worried about views, and I didn't get any. Now, if you really want views, don't make that mistake. Make sure you really choose and you focus on measuring the competition and then understanding the audience like we're talking about. And there's another huge advantage that I got because of TubeBuddy with this particular video. This little blurb here, optimization strength. When this is in the green, it's almost like an unfair advantage, meaning there aren't a lot of videos that are well optimized to rank in search, and sure enough, I came in, I made a video that resonated, and I got the #1 spot in those 20,000 views. And I think my thumbnail stood out because I've seen so many thumbnails around camera lenses that feature the lens itself. And that makes sense, but in this example, we're talking about a specific type of photography, macro photography, and that's the way I went. I created a thumbnail based on a macro photo of a bee because bees are beautiful. And I also want to mention that this video is gaining subscribers once again, and more important, this video kept viewers watching, which is critical. Even if you've got a great thumbnail and a great title, but you can't keep viewers watching, you'll struggle. And if you notice here, at 2 minutes and 12 seconds, my retention is above typical. In other words, my video kept more viewers watching up till that point. Super powerful when trying to get more views. Oh, and I mentioned that crazy thing I did. Well, I wanted to test out and see what would happen because I'm interested in testing so I can report back to you. So I actually changed the video title to "The Very Best Sony Macro Lens," and we'll see how this does in terms of showing up in more locations and how it performs over time. And if you're interested in driving views and experiments like this, consider subscribing and hit the like button. I did one other thing that's important. I did notice that the top players in the photography niche on YouTube didn't have a lot of videos talking specifically about macro photography. So instead of just making one video, I published several, I created a playlist, and those videos feed off each other. And that's how I got the views from the end screens, right? Because I was able to say, hey, if you want to learn about lighting or a really powerful tactic or strategy, check out this video now. I'll see you there. And this is such a powerful way to crush YouTube. Now, do this. In order to drive even more views, check out the video on the screen now. Big thank you again to TubeBuddy. Check the link in the description. Save 30% when you use the code BrianG30. I'll see you on the next one. You dig?